Hello, this is Jeff Gaudiosi, and you're on misplacedstraws.com, where music comes to life. And my guest today is not just an incredible drummer, but he's one of the most versatile musicians and vocalists on the prog scene. He's now teamed up with his old Spocksbeard bandmate and friend of this site, Neil Morse, as well as Ross Jennings from Haken on a record called Troika. From DiVirgilio, Morse, and Jennings, please welcome Nick DiVirgilio. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you. That was a very nice introduction. Very smooth.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you on today. You and Neil go back to the very beginning with Spocksbeard, and you guys have collaborated frequently, even though both of you have since left that band. But did you know Ross prior to this project? How did he get involved?
Yeah, we've both known Ross for quite a while, and I'm a fan of Haken for sure. I've seen him perform a bunch of times, and we've been on a few of the same festival gigs and stuff where they've played. So it's always a good time watching that band play because they're incredible at what they do. And Ross is a really great frontman. Neil asked me about this project, if I'd be interested in doing something like this, a three-part harmony, sort of acoustic-ish kind of project. We didn't know exactly who the third person would be at the very beginning. We had a couple of ideas, and then maybe Neil's friend Jeff. I forget exactly who. I have to, because a couple of people have asked me this, and I have to get the right answer. I don't know exactly, but someone recommended Ross, and we went, "Wow, that'd be really cool." And then we talked. Neil reached out to him before I did, and Ross was totally into the idea as well. And Ross just released a solo record, so he's kind of doing stuff that's not like Haken,
right?
It's more singer-songwriter kind of thing. So it seemed like it would be a great melding of three artists to get together and do some singing.
Yeah. And right from the top with Everything I Am, it lets you know what you're in for with this record and what you're not in for with this record. This isn't the prog epics that you guys are all known for. It's, as you said, sort of that three-part harmony, very Crosby, Stills, and Nash, primarily acoustic, some great percussion. It's just a beautiful record.
Thank you.
What was your reaction when Neil first pitched an idea of doing something like this to you?
Well, I was into it right away. We kind of go back a long ways doing this kind of singing, like me, Neil, and Alan after Spocksbeard gigs would always like sit in the bus and sing CSN and Beatles tunes all night long. And Neil's been doing like choir and three-part harmony stuff with his family for a long time. So it's kind of in the blood a little bit. And I'm always up for trying something different and doing something out of the box a little bit. And I'm always trying to become a better songwriter. And I've been practicing a lot of kind of fingerstyle guitar playing lately, just to do something, to add to the vocabulary and things like this. And so I was like, yeah, let's go for it. So when he asked, I pretty much wrote the first song for the project right away because it gave me some good inspiration. So I wrote the song "You Set My Soul on Fire" pretty much right after he asked. Because it was nice kick in the pants to try something out.
And it's funny that you bring up that track of "You Set My Soul on Fire." We talked about your versatility in the introduction. The percussion on that song is amazing. Everybody gets, the vocal brings everyone in, but as you listen to that song and hear what's going on in the background, it's really brings it all together. Kind of knowing the path that this record was going to take and the emphasis on the vocals and the harmonies. What was your approach when it came to drumming and percussion behind it all?
Well, it depends on the song. It depended on the song. Some were way pared down than others. Like the song "Secondhand Sons" is pretty much a rocker. Neil thought it'd be cool to have a song a little bit more, just to have a little bit of oomph compared to everything else. So that's just a full-on drum song. But the other tunes, it was gave me the opportunity to grab percussion instruments I haven't used in a while too. So it was lots of the little tchotchkes and the little kind of shaker elements and different things. And so it's fun to experiment with certain percussion instruments that I don't normally use a lot.
Well, and again, especially listening to, going back to "You Set My Soul on Fire," the background on that, to me, knowing a little bit of your background, that brings in sort of the Cirque du Soleil feel. like kind of the stuff you did in that, as opposed to what you're usually known for, with Spock's Beard or Big Big Train or stuff like that. So is this record sort of a chance to kind of bring all of your experience together?
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I think so, because it tested my songwriting chops. It tested my some of my vocals that are different than what I normally do. Production ideas and stuff like this. So yeah, all of these things culminate into kind of it builds the vocabulary that I've built over the years, kind of helped make this record.
And so many records over the past couple of years with the pandemic had to be recorded remotely. People never see each other when they're recording a record anymore, unfortunately. But with such intricate and delicate harmonies, was this something you guys were able to do remotely, or did you actually get a little bit of time where you could get together?
We never saw each other in person.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy. In fact, we'd never even heard the three part, like the blend of the voices, until kind of almost well into the process of the whole thing. Cause we were all, we'd send our demos to each other. Each of us Neil wrote 4 songs and me and Ross wrote 3 each for the record. So we would send our demos, I sort of produced my demos a little more than others. Like Neil would just send an acoustic guitar and a voice kind of thing. And mine might be a little bit more involved, but we would just, we knew the voice wise, Neil has the lower range. Ross can sing really high like me. I'm kind of used to singing the high parts like I did with Spock's back in the day. So we knew what we like, me and Ross would take the high parts, middle and high most of the time. Not every time, but most of the time. And Neil would be the bass and the meat of the vocal trio down there. And then I think Everything I Am was the first tune we heard with the 3 guys singing together. And it was like, whoa, okay, this is working. And then, for my tunes, I knew the harmony parts that I wanted to hear. And I just sent the guys and I said, these are the notes. You guys do it your way. And then let's see if you have any changes you want to make, just let me know, that kind of thing. And it worked.
Yeah, it's even more impressive knowing that you guys weren't listening to each other as you were doing it. It's kind of amazing what you could do with technology these days.
Sure. Well, and it's easier today than it was in the past too. Because like now you can do a part and send it to the other guy, even in England, and he can get it in 10 minutes and do a part on his end and send it right back. It was even just 5-6 years ago that took a lot longer to do. So now it's a lot easier to kind of work on tunes in that day, and kind of hear things back and forth almost immediately.
And again, the big comparison when it comes to the vocalizing on this record is, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. But listening to it, I hear so much early acoustic yes in the vocals. Did you guys talk about different bands and different influences as you were putting this together, or did it all just sort of blossom naturally?
A little bit of both. I think we knew we didn't want to have it like all sound like Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Yeah.
We knew there was going to be some things in there. Neil's very influenced by some of those tunes, and I am too, but he definitely, even probably more than me and Ross. Lots of Beatles influences, of course. Definitely the early Yes harmonies and things like that. Like early 70s sort of acoustic singer-songwriter music, anything from James Taylor and just all of that kind of stuff was sort of in there. So we wanted it to be a variety as far as sound, not just kind of everybody thinks, oh, this sounds like CSN. So we kind of knew that going in, but we also knew that some of it was going to kind of have that tinge. Which is okay, because it's great music. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, any ideas on where this record will lead? Do you guys see this as something that might be ongoing? Do you see a Morse Fest in your future for the 3 of you? Or
well, I've already put my hat in and made my opinion known about that. Playing live is we got to do it. I think it'd be a really fun evening of music. So I sure hope that we can make this happen and get out there and perform this music. And we've already talked about making a second record. Neil's up for it, and I'm sure Ross is too. And it's just a matter of kind of getting the schedules together and start throwing some demos back and forth and seeing kind of where it leads. But I sure hope it keeps going. It was a really enjoyable process to make this record. It turned out well. So it'd be nice if we can't, see where it goes.
I think from a fan perspective too, it's like a cool palate cleanser. You know, we're used to these epics and this certain sound coming from the three of you. So to get something completely different, but yet still familiar because of some of the arrangements in your voices, again, from a fan perspective, it's a really cool change of pace, and definitely look forward to hoping you guys do more with it.
Yeah. And I think, you know, I mean, I've been talking to a few other people interviewing me and stuff. I think the prog heads will dig this record.
Yeah.
You know? And I think there's enough muso-ishness, if that's a word, you know, that kind of flavor in the songs that will appeal to the prog fan. Some are really straight ahead and mellow, don't get me wrong, but I think it's just the production, it sounds nice. Some songs are more involved, like King for a Day, a couple of Ross tunes, King for a Day and stuff, to me are very prog-y. You know, they got that muso flavor there for sure. So I think there'll be a lot that a traditional prog fan would dig.
And, you know, Troika isn't the only new release you have out. You also have the beautiful Welcome to the Planet with Big Big Train. And just listening to the spirit and the joy on that record, it's just so hard to believe that David Longdon isn't with us anymore. Yeah. As a band, what's it been like for the past few weeks to put this amazing record out there dealing with this loss?
That sucks.
Yeah.
It just really, I'm not sure really how else to put it.
Yeah.
You know, we've been pushing this record since last September. We had this whole PR campaign. We were trying new things to build followers and get some more airtime out there in the world, because there's a ton, you know, it's just a ton of music. So we had this campaign of releasing all these singles and doing, so this record's been, you know, was done well before David's accident. And then when it happened, gosh, it was like after the initial shock of a couple of weeks, we decided that, even Sarah, his partner, decided that we should keep moving forward with this, because, you know, I mean, it's typical, you say when a person kind of goes, he wouldn't want us to stop, which I think we all really truly believe that. And then we also wanted to make sure his legacy sort of lives on and not just kind of stop, go away, because he added so much. You know, he was the soul of the band. His voice was the voice. So it's like, we didn't want that to just disappear because of this. So it's been a huge drag, lots of emotions for everybody. But it's really nice also to see that people are digging the music that we put out here, and they're enjoying this record. Yeah,
without a doubt. And you also put out Invisible, your first full solo record in about 20 years, back in 2020, which was a great record. I really enjoy that record. And any chance of more solo music coming from you?
For sure, yeah. I'm writing. Yeah, you bet. I was already working on a lot of stuff, but now since the change in Big Big Train, I'm veering more to the calendar is going to change a little bit, I think. But to answer your question in generally, yes, I'm definitely making some more solo music. I want to get out there and play more. I want to get out there and tour on my own. Lots of ideas and things that are percolating. Big Big Train, we're definitely going to keep going as a band. So now that you know, David just had his funeral, so now that we're sort of on the back end of at least that part of it, we can kind of look towards the future a little bit slowly. That's going to take a little bit of time, I think, but we're pretty eager to not let all the momentum just completely go away that we've been building all these years. So, yes, more solo material, and the timeline's going to change a little bit depending on what's happening.
We'll definitely look forward to it, and hopefully we can catch you out on the road sometime soon. Really looking forward to that. We've been spending some time here with Nick DiVirgilio. The band is DiVirgilio, Morse Jennings. The record is called Troika. It is out everywhere on February 25th. It's a beautiful record. It's a lot of fun. There's something in there for everybody, from, as you mentioned, the prog guys to, you know, the lovers of the 70s singer and songwriter kind of stuff. So, Nick, thank you. Best of luck with the record and with everything you got going on in the future. Hopefully we can catch you on the road sometime soon.
Hope so. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Nick.
All right.
Bye.